Hi, my name is John, and this is my Pokemon Leaf Green walkthrough. Now, before we get started, I'm going to tell you a few things. This video is going to be posted on our YouTube and our Tumblr. Go to gamingmychildhood.tumblr.com for our childhood gaming blog where we talk about our favorite games from our childhood. Also, if you're watching this on Tumblr, our YouTube is youtube.com/user/gamingmychildhood. Now let's enjoy some Pokemon. And for the record, I am recording the voice after I actually played the game, so I gave myself a lot of time to do this intro. Like a whole minute. Alright, here we go. Who ever read this as a child, really? I never really did. If you really need to read it, you can just pause the video. Really. Alright, this is Professor Oak. And he's gonna tell us that we live in a world filled with Pokemon. It's got a little Nidoran female there. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I want to do a Nuzlocke challenge for this game walkthrough. Since this is only the first episode, I didn't really get to the grass part. But what a Nuzlocke challenge is where each time you go to a new route, you can only catch the first Pokemon you see. And you have to nickname all your Pokemon, and if any of your Pokemon faint in battle, you have to send them to the death box or just release them. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'll do that, but my name's Sean, as I already told you. And this is my rival. Now, as you know, on our Tumblr, it's run by three of us. Me, John, my friends Aiden, and Travis. Now, Travis really doesn't play Pokemon all that often, but me and Aiden like to. So whenever we play, we always like to name our rivals, like, for each other, I guess. So yeah, I'm naming my rival Aiden. And Aiden's name is weird. He spells it with an A instead of an E, which isn't the normal way of spelling it, apparently. I don't know. That's what he usually says. Yep. John! Your very own Pokemon legend's about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go! So here I am in my room with the good old NES right there. And pretty much at the beginning of every Pokemon game, you go up to your PC and grab the potion. You know, that's always helpful, just in case you get low health in the first battle. So yeah, gonna head downstairs. And look, there's our mom. And it's always confused. Like, you're a 10-year-old boy. And she's like, oh, all boys leave home Sunday. It said so on TV. Oh, yeah, and Professor Oak next door is looking creepy. Except Professor Oak doesn't live next door. Unless he lives with, I don't know, Gary and his sister. But on the mailbox it says Aiden's house. And not Oak's house. Which has always been weird to me. And I go over to talk to this girl, and she says, is that right? And she sees you. Oh, and you have to look at the sign. Trainer tips. Press start to open the menu. Which is basically useless unless you're playing on an actual Game Boy, because I'm using an emulator right now. The VBA, which is probably the most common emulator used to game with Game Boy games. The Oak Pokemon Research Lab. We're gonna head in there and talk to our rival. There's Aiden. Wait, it's only John? Gramps isn't around. So that's all he has to say for now. And now we begin. head outside, head north to the grass, and then Oak stops us immediately. I want to know where he was hiding, because you look around the whole town and he's nowhere to be found, and then all of a sudden he just finds you trying to leave, and he's like, nope, come with me. I love all the music in this game. I love all the music in the original game, and I love that they updated it for the new one. Also, I love in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I played that when I had my DS before it got stolen. And they had a thing in mid-game where you could just go and find this thing that upgraded your radio so that the old music from the original like Game Boy Color game would play instead of the new updated music, which I really like that a lot. And now, yeah, Aiden's gonna get mad about not picking his Pokemon first, which is kind of good because then he just gets to choose our type advantage. So I'm gonna show you all the Pokemon that there is. It's Bulbasaur, he's the grass type. I don't really like Bulbasaur. This is Squirtle, he's the water type. I usually either pick Squirtle or Charmander. Like, I've never been good with Bulbasaur, and I don't think I've ever beat the game with Bulbasaur. And I would play as Bulbasaur for the walkthrough, but it's just too tedious. So I'm gonna pick Squirtle, because I've always loved Squirtle, and basically water types just own at this game. I've never had any bad experience with water types, unless like electric types. But you know, that's when you just send in a new Pokemon. And right here, it takes me a really long time to think of a nickname. But I end up just going with Bubbles. Again, it takes me a while to figure it out, but I just kind of screw around with the keyboard a little bit. But yeah, my Squirtle's name is Bubbles. I don't know why I chose Bubbles, it just came off the top of my head. I always thought the rivals should have nicknamed the Pokemon. I don't know why, but like every time you see a trait in this game, it's always a nickname Pokemon. And so if they can do that, why don't they just make the rival nickname the Pokemon? Like just something random. I don't know. Maybe that's too hard. So yeah, now our rival's gonna pick the Bulbasaur because it has a typing advantage on Squirtle. And he's gonna battle us. Basically, my strategy for the first battle is just only use the attacking move. Like, you don't need to use Tail Whip or Growl as Bulbasaur has. And if he brings you down like you're about to die, you could always just use the potion and you're guaranteed to win. I've almost never lost at this battle, but like there are some times where I have, just like being careless with the emulator, using the fast forward button, just like not paying attention to my health. But he goes for the Growl, which is basically useless because, I don't know, it's technically not useless because he does lower my attack a little bit, but his regular tackle against my weakened tackle does about the same. So yeah, I get a critical hit there, which is really lucky. He gets in one more tackle and I go down to... No, he gets... I could have sworn I lived with 9 HP, not 7. Oh well. Well, we still won. And what's weird about this battle is that your Pokemon automatically gets healed. Oh, that's why I thought you left off 9, because of the level up. I forgot about that. But yeah. So we defeated our rival, and he's totally shocked. Like, what? And then he says he picked the wrong Pokemon. Every time as a kid, I was like, well, if you pick the wrong Pokemon, why don't you just go get the other one? And then make the game a million times easier for me. But no. He would always stick to the just keeping the type advantage. I'm going to leave the episode off right here, and I'll see you next time.